What's going on, everybody? My name is James Thompson. I'm the Senior Finance Officer here at Lexington Capital Holdings. Today I'm with,
Ryan Shao, and I'm the Vice President of Sales over here at Lexington Capital Holdings.
all right, guys. So today we're going to be going over just a few things that we've learned over the times of closing over 500 plus deals in our time, and a few things that every salesperson should know. So, first things first that I wanted to go over with everybody today is just presenting the offer too soon to the prospect. Early on in my career, I found myself many times getting excited when I thought I had the perfect deal to be able to win the client over. But really, there's some underlying factors that you have to dig deeper and really peel away those layers of the onion to really find out what it is that the client is ideally looking for or ideally needs for their specific instance here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, some of the biggest things to take into consideration is specifically what that client is looking for. So, what we like to do is we like to do what's called a discovery call, where we're actually going to get on the phone with the client and figure out their needs specifically before we jump into presenting any offers. Now, what that'll look like is figuring out, what kind of term they're expecting, what kind of rate they're expecting, what kind of previous history they have borrowing financing for the business. All of these things are huge and important factors to take into consideration before you even present what you currently have a client approved for.
And that allows you to be able to understand the type of prospect that it is you have on the phone. There's going to be certain prospects that you're going to get on the phone with that are looking for the capital as quick as possible. And there's going to be other prospects on the phone that are going to be looking for the cheapest possible cost that they can find over a set time frame. So it's your duty as the sales representative to be able to figure out what it is exactly that that specific client is really hoping to see from the application with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, another huge thing that we do want to talk about and what every salesperson should definitely know is understanding what kind of prospect you have on the phone. And that kind of ties into what you were just saying, whether they're looking for the capital in a 30 to 45-day window, whether they need the capital tomorrow to cover payroll, or whatever their kind of situation currently is. That I would say is a huge part of closing a deal and figuring out what needs to get done.
Exactly. For example, like if the guy is in a situation where his insurance is up on his truck and he needs his insurance to be paid by the end of the day today, it's up to you as the salesman to understand who it is that you have on the phone, understand the situation and the need that they have at hand, and act accordingly, pairing them up with a lender that would be able to execute upon that in the time frame in which they need it. If you know that you have three separate approvals and say two of the approvals are from a lender that generally tends to be a little bit slower on the back end, but you have another approval where you know that this is something where it can get done today, but it might be maybe a little bit more expensive. It might be in your best interest and in the client's best interest to maybe look at the option that is able to get it done in that time frame in which they need it. Let's take a look at one last thing as well. Big thing when it comes to closing the prospect is you're going to want to really understand which product it is that is going to fit their specific need best. If they have a situation at hand, for example, where the client has a bridge in between invoices where they're looking to cover payroll costs or they're looking to cover material costs to take on more jobs, that might be an instance where it makes a little bit more sense for them to look into something on a revolving source of capital, being it may be a repeating thing that may happen across the life of the business in the future.
Another great example to take a look at is like, let's say a client is looking to purchase a piece of equipment. So that's something that generally you're going to want to find an equipment financing loan for because it's going to stretch them out over a 5 to 7 year period and give them the cheapest monthly payment possible to be able to finance that piece of equipment.
And it's your duty as the sales representative to really dissect each individual client situation to understand what it is they're looking to allocate the funds towards. So that way you don't come back to them and offer them a 6 month term when they're looking to purchase a truck over the course of 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Or let's also say that a client has an opportunity to make a purchase. Say they're buying, even a whole bunch of used cars. Say the used cars are going to cost them $10,000 to get three used cars. He's going to put $2,000 worth of work into them and then sell them for $10,000 a piece. That's a huge return on investment and something that is probably not going to take more than 6 months for him to accomplish. So there are always those specific boxes that you do need to look for when you're trying to figure out exactly what product a client needs in order to get his specific needs fulfilled.
All right, guys, just to wrap it all up for you, today we just spoke about a couple of things that we have learned over our careers of closing 500 plus deals. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'd love to see you guys for another one.